So like piecewise functions are just basically conditionals. Okay, so do you guys know how to graph this y equals mx plus b, right? You start at 4, you go up 1.5, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is a little different because I'm telling you this is only true, this is the equation, is only true where x is less than -2. So x is -2 is right here, right? So whatever I do is only on the less than side. Is that the left or the right? The left. So I'm going to plug in this -2. That's my first step. Okay, first step, plug in -2 for x, right? And we're going to solve it for y. So I'm going to have -1 plus 4, 3. So my ordered pair is, what was my x? -2. And my y was 3. Because that's what happened when I plugged in the -2. I got 3 as the y. Okay? So then I go to this point. -2, 3. Is this an open circle or a closed circle? Open circle, because it does not have the line. Open circle. Okay? You can do one of two things. You can pick another thing and plug it in for x, which I usually don't do. Or you can think about, what is the slope of this? 1/2 is that slope. So I don't want to go up 1/2 because that would be taking me into the bigger side. So I need to go down 1, backwards 2. Down 1, backwards 2. Down 1, backwards 2. So this line, so this right here, this red line is y equals 1/2 x plus 4 when x is less than -2. If there wasn't this part, the line would just continue on forever, right? That's just kind of how a line works. So let's do the same thing for this one. I'm going to start by plugging in x and -2 everywhere where there's an x. So I'll plug in 3 times -2 minus 3, -6 minus 3, -9. So I know my ordered pair is, I put in -2 for x. That's what I put in. And my y was -9. Okay? So that's what I have, -2 and -9. So let's go to that point. Is it open or closed? Closed. And then what's my slope for that? Up 3/1. Am I headed the right direction? Is this side bigger than -2 over here? Yep. That side's bigger than -2. So this is my piecewise function. Sorry, it's kind of, whoa, it's super sloppy. Okay. So it's two equations on one graph. And it's just conditions. Like after this or before this or less than this, right? The condition is if you go to McDonald's, your parents give you $10. If you go to Red Lobster, they give you $40. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. The first step is, I'm going to grab blue. I'm going to plug in 3 to this point. I'm going to get 3 comma something. So let's plug it in. 2/3 times 3 plus 1 equals y. All I did was plug in this 3 into this equation. Nothing super fancy. This 3 into this equation. So I end up with 2 plus 1, which equals 3. So my point is 3, 3. If I go to 3, 3, is it an open circle or a closed circle? Open, because this does not have a line underneath it. The other thing I have to ask is my slope is 2/3. So I don't want to go up 2/3 or down 2 backwards 3. Which one's going to give me the side that has x is less than 3? The left or the right? Which one's smaller than 3? Left. So I need to go down 2, backwards 3. Down 2, backwards 3. Down 2, backwards 3. And you can continue that on for the whole graph. Okay? That is the first line. We've graphed it. Let's grab a red to do the second one. I'm going to do this equation. Y equals negative x plus 3. And I always plug in whatever my boundary is. 3 for x. So y equals negative 3 plus 3. So what's y equal? 0 over to 3, 0. And is it open or closed? It has a line under it, so it's closed. And my slope of that is negative 1 over 1. And I want to go this way, right? Because I'm trying to do bigger than 3. Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Down 1 over 1. Sorry. Okay, so that's how you get your lines. So let's do number 3 together. The first, oh look, now I've got 3 of them. I know, it's so scary. So I start with my negative 4. 1/2 times negative 4 plus 3. And I know that's going to give me negative 4 comma something. Well, that's negative 2 plus 3, which is 1. Is this an open circle or a closed circle at negative 4, 1? Closed. And I'm trying to go smaller than negative 4, so that's everything from here over, right? There left is less than negative 4. And I have my slope is up 1 over 2. Since I can't go up 1 over 2, because that would put me in the wrong place, I'm only allowed to go to the left of this line because of the restrictions that it put on there, right? I can't go to the right, so I can only go to the left. Instead of going up 1 over 2, I'm going to go down 1, backwards 2. Down 1, backwards 2. Down 1, backwards 2. Okay? I'm going to do this equation right here is going to be a hard one, and here's why. Y equals 2, what kind of line is that? Horizontal or vertical? Horizontal. So that's a horizontal line at 2, but it's only between this point right here, this negative 4, x is negative 4, and 2. So if I'm having a horizontal line at 2, only between those points, are the circles open or closed? Open, because there's both have no lines underneath it. Okay, then I'm going to grab, we'll do black. I'm going to plug in my 2 because I only have one boundary. If you have 2 boundaries, just plug in both boundaries. Okay, negative 1/2 times 2 minus 3. And I know my point is 2 comma something, because that's what I plugged in for x was 2. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Is it open or closed? Closed. Closed. Then I have a slope of negative 1/2. If I go down 1 over 2, is that putting me at x is greater than 2? Yeah, it's putting me here where I need to be. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. So I end up with 3 lines on one graph. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll go work on evaluate. All right, first one, I plug in x and 0. 1/3 times 0 plus 1. And I know my ordered pair is 0 comma something because I plugged in the 0, right? I put that in there. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Is it open or closed at that point? 0, 1, open. And I want less than 0, so I want everything from here over. So can I go up 1 over 3, or do I need to go down 1 backwards 3? Down 1 backwards 3. Down 1 backwards 3. And that puts my line where it needs to be. I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other one here, but I've got 2 boundaries. So I'm going to start with the 0, plug in the 0. So I'm going to have the point 0 comma negative 2. And if I plug in the 6, negative 2 over 3 times 6 minus 2, negative 12 over 3, negative 4, negative 6. No. Negative 12 over 3, negative 4, yeah, negative 6. 6, negative 6. So first of all, the 0, negative 2, is that open or closed? Closed. My other boundary is 6, negative 6. Is that open or closed? Open. And then I just connect the dots. That makes Eva happy when we do the connect the dots. Here's another one. I'm going to plug in to my original equation, y equals x. Everywhere where there's an x, I'm going to plug in a 6. So y equals 6. Y equals 6 is what kind of, what? Oh, the point is 6 comma 6, right? 6, 6. Is it open or closed? Closed. And here's where people will freak out. What is the slope of y equals x? 1 over 1. Okay, this is not a vertical or horizontal line. If I go up 1 over 1, is that putting me where I need to go? Am I going bigger than 6? Yep. So I can follow that up 1 over 1. Okay, so that's all a piecewise function is finding the end and then following the slope wherever you need to go. Okay, all right,